everybody, my name is Christina.
And I'm Alexandra.
And today we'll be talking about team communication, tensions, conflict, virtuality and performance. So the first reading we'll be doing is conflict and performance in global virtual teams. There is an increasing use of global virtual teams to meet organisational needs and tasks. There are many benefits such as access to expertise and the ability to deliver services to customers around the clock. As with all teams, virtual and non-virtual, the risk of conflict is present. This is due to the diversity of team members, their different skills, their different communication styles, and in virtual global teams, difference in culture and language.
Can, Hallie, Tan and Wei discuss three antecedents to GVT conflict, which are technology, team elements, and task characteristics, so also known as the 3 Ts. They studied 3 GVTs and found that cultural diversity was the cause of the majority of conflict they observed. Functional diversity, which is the differences in educational background and expertise of team members, also led to conflicts. However, social diversity, which is like age and gender, did not appear to have any significant conflict in GVTs.
Conflict did arise as a result of the types of technology used by teams. A heavy reliance on emails led to increases with conflict due to information overload, while teams that used web-based discussion boards had less.
The cause and antecedents of conflict can be broken down into 2 main types, those linked to relationship issues and those linked to task issues. Can, Hallie et al. Concluded that cultural diversity can lead to relationship and task conflicts in GVTs. Functional diversity can lead to task conflict, and the volume of electronic communication and delays in electronic communication can lead to task conflict also.
The second reading dialects on a global software team negotiating tensions across time, space and culture. Not only can group work be daunting and have multiple challenges, global teams face greater difficulty than traditional face-to-face teams. These difficulties can be due to tasks, contexts, people, time and technology. Boundaries of time, space and cultural complexity all play a part in the challenges faced by GVTs also. Gibbs 2016 examines inevitable tensions associated with the interactions within global teams. However, not only did this article examine these tensions, it also examines the communication processes that team members have towards these tensions and whether or not these responses are destructive to the global team or productive.
Within this reading, literature reviewed suggests that there are multiple ways in which to manage and minimize tension. These can be through selection, separation/vacillation, withdrawal, integration, transcendence, and connection. There are multiple different reasons as to why virtual teams can break down, such as geographical dispersion, electronic dependence, cultural diversity, and a dynamic structure are all forces that can lead to these breakdowns. This can be due to the lack of coordination, cultural misunderstandings, and the loss of teamness.
This article came to the conclusion that there were 3 major tensions evident in GVTs: autonomy versus connectedness, tensions in relationships such as detached and involved, inclusion versus exclusion, aspects such as virtual and temporary work arrangements, insider-outsider, and empowerment versus disempowerment. This is an aspect such as power dynamics, which is privileged and marginalised. To minimise these tensions, global team members need to embrace complexity and ambiguity.
So the last reading is emotion display norms in virtual teams. Emotions play a big part in organisations and in teams. Emotion display norms is when different emotions are adopted in different social settings. The purpose of this reading looks at emotion display norms for virtual teams and culturally homogeneous and culturally diverse teams. Glickson and Aries 2013 state that teams work better when each team member can display and express their emotion display norms. However, they also need to have clarity on how to express these emotions.
Relating back to last week's readings on culture and diversity, Glickson and Aries also argue that individuals from different cultures will differ in the way in which they express emotion display norms among their culturally homogeneous teams. However, it is also suggested that the members of different cultures will be similar in their interpretations of emotion display norms within their multicultural team. This means that culturally homogeneous and culturally diverse teams will show differences in their emotion display norms.
One of the struggles for virtual teams is that face-to-face work teams build relational ties through emotions. However, with the use of communication technologies, this limits expressions of emotion. Emotion display norms can also be misinterpreted through virtual communication. To reduce conflict within virtual teams, it is important that we express our positive emotions more than our negative emotions. This will also help build trust within a virtual team to minimize relational conflict. It also says that people who tend to work better in groups where people share the same norms and values as them. This can also be shown through emotion display norms in helping to build common ground within a team.
In conclusion, global virtual teams are complex, and as with non-virtual teams, conflict is a significant potential issue. These readings have helped clarify some of the issues that lead to conflict. However, the issues appear to be quite complex and therefore difficult to manage from an organisational point of view. Even when one is aware of social diversity, cultural diversity, and functional diversity, it would be difficult to manipulate a virtual team to ensure that no conflict arose. Monitoring the amount of information that is passed from team member to team member is difficult to control, especially if you are looking at expertise. If you are looking at expertise, you may be mindful about cultural differences. However, it is skills and knowledge of the individual team members which may be necessary to focus on to ensure tasks are completed. Ultimately, it's probably easier to manage conflict within a GVT than to create a GVT that will have no conflict. Sometimes conflict cannot be avoided. Within an individual's life, experiencing conflict within a group is almost inevitable.